It's Bourbon Night. Happy Father's Day and hello. Happy Sunday to you. I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Yeah. And happy Father's Day, everyone, to all you hardworking dads out there.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us, per usual.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And you deserve a drink on Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, how's everybody doing?
Have
Let
a
us
drink
know
on
in
us.
the chat, please.
Yeah.
So today, from the episode title, you can see that we're going to be doing some father and son collaborations, or sort of just like the lineage or the legacy down from father to son in a couple of different distilleries. I think today we're going to focus on Wild Turkey and Jim Beam.
Mm-hmm.
So we've both heard talks on, with, both Fred and Eddie talking about, working with their dads, how they did it, and now hopefully passing the torch on to their sons even eventually. So it's really interesting to hear, like, what do the older guys think about it whenever they make changes, especially with Jimmy and Eddie.
Yeah.
So kind of we're just going to go through that and taste something from each of them, and then something that they worked on together, or in the Booker's case, Booker's is something that was Booker knows that Fred now carries on. So
Yeah.
we'll touch on all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But first, we got a little bit of news, if you want to tell them what we got going on.
So for those of you who've been asking, and I guess following along, we've talked about it a little bit on other live episodes, but we booked our trip today. We booked our flights to Austin for the Whiskey Tribe Whiskey Vault opening of their distillery, which is called V. Weiss. That's what I'm told. So yeah, that's going to be at the end of August. We're really excited.
We'll be there.
And if you're going, let us know in the chat if you've got recommendations of awesome things to do in Austin. I think we're going to be staying in downtown Sunday of that weekend. So we'd love to, what's the best spot for bourbon? What's a must-see thing, we'd like to explore. So let us know.
Totally.
Also, we got some samples in. We're going to try and start incorporating this sort of like mail time almost into the episode.
Let's reach into the mailbag.
So if you've sent us things before, we'll try to go back and bring these things up on weeks when maybe we don't get something, or just incorporate them in slowly. But we're going to start doing mail time. So who did we get samples from?
Henry Papa. I love it when you call me Henry Papa.
I'm sure he doesn't like that.
I don't know. So, yeah, Henry sent us some Kentucky Owl Rye, batch 1. Of course, batch 2 is out soon. Some E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof 2017 version, so this is the 128.1 proof. And some good old Rock Hill Farms from 2017 as well. 100 proof there from Buffalo Trace. So thank you so much, Henry. We will probably end up drinking these on a live episode like this. So thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it, and we shall toast you with our heartiest chalice as we do that. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's get on to some tasting.
All right. You want to start with turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
start
on
with
the
turkey.
table.
It's on the table.
So let's start with there.
It's right here.
You go ahead. I heard they're doing away with this. Is the Kentucky Spirit, and I heard they're doing away with this bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sad. Like, some people think it's ugly, but I think it's really cool.
I think it is cool. Looks like a turkey tail. And I never...
It's kind of vintage.
I never
like
knew
it.
that until...
The turkey plume?
That it was like, yeah,
Like
this is
the
supposed to
plumage?
be
Yeah.
a turkey's plumage until it was pointed out to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, it totally is. But, yeah, so got a little info here for you on the Kentucky Spirit. So this is basically just an older version of Wild Turkey 101. It doesn't carry an age statement, but it is said from the master distiller himself. It's around 8 to 9 years, which is pretty cool.
And so Jimmy did Wild Turkey 101, and Jimmy did this.
Yeah, if you go to their, I was at their website just today, and it says every barrel is selected by Jimmy. It still says Jimmy. Now, Jimmy, if you know, he's getting up there a little bit.
Yeah.
He's definitely stepping away more and letting his son Eddie, do things. But if the website is to be believed, Jimmy is still picking every barrel that goes in to be Kentucky Spirit. So, yeah, like this one was bottled in 2017 from Warehouse D, and it gives you the RIC number and where it was stored and everything.
I see a lot of barrel picks of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to find a non-barrel pick one of these.
Yeah, it is.
But it's funny because if you ever hear Eddie talk about it, whenever people ask what he likes and what his dad likes, he says that Jimmy says the sweet spot is 8 to 12 years. Mm-hmm. That's what he likes.
Yeah.
So.
Single barrel. This is actually...
More about that later.
Was introed in 1994, and it's said to be the second single barrel that came on the market. So, of course, Blanton's, Elmer T. Lee, then master distiller of Buffalo Trace, which at the time might have been called the Ancient Age Distillery. I'm not sure my timeline. I don't know about that, but he came out with the world's first single barrel with Blanton's, and then, they're all buddies, so then Jimmy was like, wow, hell, I guess we'll give this single barrel thing a try. Came out with Kentucky Spirit, so that came out in 94. So this is what we're saying is our quintessential Jimmy Russell thing.
I don't think I have this often enough. Like, now that I'm nosing it again, it feels so, like, how I love just Wild Turkey. So 101 is dependable, just a good staple. Confirming what you thought.
Yeah, Matt, was just saying, fun fact, Kentucky Spirit was the second single barrel ever created. Yep.
Oh, this has just got such a great nose. It feels so...
There's Pam.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
It just feels so, like, quintessential Wild Turkey. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It does.
And I got to drink this. I mean, again, I don't have this a lot. Whenever you do the Wild Turkey tour, well, whenever I did it, it's probably been, I don't know, maybe like 2 years since I did it. I need to go back and do it again. But you're sitting in this gorgeous tasting room that's overlooking, what do you call that, like a ravine? What would you call that?
A bluff?
Yeah, something like that. And, just like all this beautiful Kentucky scenery, and you're sipping this, and it's just a good time. It feels good in that moment.
You can walk outside and you can actually ride a turkey. It's a barrel that's made to look like a turkey.
I was like, what are you talking about? That's a lie.
You can't do that.
Mm. That's good.
It is.
It's like it's got just enough kick.
Yeah, it's definitely not Turkey 101. You can taste the difference.
Right.
It has more of a... I'm picking up more of, like, the spice.
Yeah, me too. So that's pepper. What I mean. Like, it's got more of a pepper, and I think it's quicker to hit you here.
Yep. And you get more, with it being 8 to 9 years, I think you are getting more of, obviously, that barrel influence. So you're getting more of the oak in there, and...
It's got some oomph.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't really go towards, like, how really old bourbons can go towards leather, tobacco. It doesn't really... maybe you get, like, just the peak or a hint of that, but I think it was, taken out of the barrel at the right time, honestly.
The nose is so nice. Like, honestly, I think I'm romanticizing this bourbon a little bit, but, like, you know how sometimes you can smell things, like, after it rained, you kind of smell, oh, thanks, Joseph.
Thanks, Joe. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Father's Day to you.
You know how sometimes you can smell, like, after it rains, it smells different outside. I think this smells like fall in Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of when I nose it. I think that's I have such a special place for this.
Now, this is definitely, and this would be a perfect sitting around the fire sipping whiskey.
Yeah,
also.
Just like a cool fall night.
None of those now.
It's like 90-something degrees.
Hot as hell. Well, thanks again,
Joseph. Cheers.
Super happy Father's Day. You can now have the honor of holding the #1 dad mug, because you just earned it with that.
Dad. We'll just ship him a #1 dad mug.
Do you remember, I don't know if many people watch Friends, but when Monica was dating Magnum P.I.
Oh, Mustache. Shoot.
Help us out.
Tom. No, it's not Tom.
Tom Selleck.
Was it Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck. So she's dating Tom Selleck, and Joey and Chandler are, like, enamored with him. And one of them even, like, tries to grow a mustache.
That they both... Yeah, Chandler tries to grow a mustache. It's so bad. Sorry for this tangent.
The coin flip. But anyway, what I'm getting at is... So she was like, oh, so you really like Tom Selleck? Whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah...
Richard was his
name.
Richard.
There you go, Richard. He's so much cooler than our dads. And then she was like, you think of him as a dad? Because he was so much older. And they backpedal like, no, that's what we call each other. Like, Joey's my dad... You're my dad. You're my dad. And I just always think about that. So Joe, you're our dad. You're our dad, Joe. Thanks, Joseph.
You're a great dad.
You're my dad. You're all our dads. So anyway, sorry for that, friends.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of scenarios in your life, it's like, but you were like, just like that one episode of Friends. So would you say?
Yes.
Would you say Kentucky Spirit or Rare Breed?
Kentucky Spirit or Rare Breed. I just said it. Oh.
He's so cute. He thinks he's so funny. You guys.
I'm adorable. I would have to. I know it's kind of a cop out. I'd have to do them blind side by side, but.
I kind of
agree.
I would
think Rare Breed. I think the higher proof, and it's a mix of 6, 8, and 12 year, Rare Breed is. And I think sometimes a small batch can be more enticing than a single barrel. I mean, you can get and that's depending on the day of the week, you can get just a super single barrel. And then you can get one that's kind of small batch, more consistency, plus the higher proof of Rare Breed. I would probably give it to Rare Breed.
I think it depends on your mood. I think this one, again, I think I just have rose-colored glasses on about this right now. Not saying that it's not good. I'm just I don't know why I'm hearts for eyes for this bottle right now. But,
Hearts for eyes.
Hearts for eyes.
Yeah. Wow. You can do that because you have glasses today.
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on. Do it.
I don't want to.
Do the whoa.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, fine. Jeez.
I'm too much of a dork already. But yeah, I think it depends on what you're in the mood for. I think this fall I'll be going to this. I don't know, but Rare Breed's always good. So
it is. Now this or Wild Turkey 101.
Well, if there's no price, if I can go to the store and I can get them for either price, I'm probably going to pick this. Because it's like an umphed up version of 101 and it's older and
it wears pumped up kicks.
Yeah, and it's a higher no, it's the same proof.
Same proof. Yeah. But that's the thing. This is $50. Rare Breed is 35 to 40 and it's a higher proof. I mean, I guess they're really putting...
So for value, I guess I'd have to say Rare Breed.
They're putting the price on the fact this is a single barrel.
And for daily yes, and for daily drinking, and I'm sure the bottle is expensive, but for daily drinking, Wild Turkey is great. Wild Turkey 101, I mean, same proof, not as old, but still really consistent, really solid. So, I mean, do you want to pay, when we can find it for $18, $17 for the 101, or do you want to pay $50 for this? So,
yeah.
There's your answer.
And I totally forgot to do this. We could still do it. I meant to do the Jimmy Russell approach to smelling here in the very beginning. Joseph, you're a bourbon dad. Well, I will make dad jokes for the rest of the episode.
He's really good at the dad jokes. I call them Chad jokes. But...
Chad jokes. It's shit my Chad says instead of my dad says.
I don't ever say my Chad.
That would be weird because I'm your all's Chad.
He can be everyone's Chad. There's enough to share.
But thank you, Joseph, seriously. Oh, Pear Bear. That's right, Joseph with the win. The Jimmy Russell method to nosing a bourbon is you smell it with your mouth closed first.
Not for the faint of heart.
No. Then you go with the mouth open.
Matt Bailey knows. He knows.
Yep, there you go.
Every time Joseph super chats, an angel gets its wings.
Teacher says, every time Joseph super chats, an angel gets its wings.
I love that.
Well, that's right. That's right, little girl. Every time Joseph super chats.
That's the movie that the King of Kentucky is in. Mm-hmm. Fun fact. It's a Wonderful Life.
Sunday.
$200 for that bottle, though. Whew. I don't know about that. I need to taste it.
Must have it, though.
Yeah, he's
must have it. Don't like it when things elude me. It just gets better as you go.
It is good.
It really does. I think when we first opened up this bottle, we were a little bit less impressed, but I think it's opened up well. Mm-hmm. And
I'm much happy. I don't remember how I felt about it last time I had it, but I'm much happier about it now.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah, you already said the bottle is going away. Right. Yeah.
I think so. So, I mean, I guess if you see one and you're on the fence about it, keep that in mind too. Like, go ahead and pick one up, especially if you're a collector, because I think if this bottle goes away, then one day you're going to be like, look at this cool thing that I have. I don't know. I just like it. And even when we're done with this bottle, I'm going to use this as a vase or something. How cool is it? Unless you think it's ugly, then I'm sorry.
Bourbon and Branch, just bourbon and water. I mean, Branch. So there's a river system that goes underneath Lexington called Town Branch. That's where Town Branch Bourbon gets its name. and they're actually planning on unearthing Jason C. Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Sudeikis with
That's
a C.
That's not.
Well, I want wings and bourbon. Cheers! Yay! Well, you get all those things, Jason.
You get them.
Thank you. You get them. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it very much. So, Town Branch is limestone waters. It's a limestone deposit river that runs underneath Lexington. Anyway, they're talking about unearthing the Town Branch and making this thing called Town Branch Commons in Lexington and having like a river walk. Anyway, so when you hear bourbon and branch, it's just meaning bourbon and water, but specifically limestone-rich Kentucky water.
Yes.
Right.
Matt Bailey said he went to Bourbon House last night. That's in
Bourbon House.
House.
Bourbon House. 1849 or whatever it is. 1843.
In Covington last night, and I was there a couple of weeks ago,
2 days
3
ago.
weeks ago.
2 days.
He was there 2 days ago. It's a really cool spot.
You're welcome, pal. Joey.
But I think that their AC isn't working or something.
It's working in the back room and not so
It's
much
very
in
hot.
the other rooms.
But I'd recommend if you're gonna go, if you're in the
1841.
area,
Thanks, Perry. Perry was there 2 days ago too.
go sit on their patio at night when it's cooler outside. They have like a cute little patio, and it's on the same street as Old Kentucky Bourbon Bar and some other really cool places. Bouquet. And Wise Guys Lounge is across the street. Goodfellas, you can get a good slice of pizza. Northern Kentucky is coming up with they've got the whole Beeline thing going on, and
well, it's what Pink wrote the song about. I'm coming up. It was about Northern Kentucky. Fun fact. Fun untrue fact. I'm coming up.
Nope. If you sing too much of it, we'll get flagged.
Oh, sure. Because I sound just like Pink.
You do.
Is that Pink?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's Pink. So we've moved on to Russell's Reserve, which was made for Jimmy Russell's 45-year anniversary with the company. But it was more of a joint venture between father and son. So we did father and son, and then we'll do son.
Yeah.
So, he's like in his 60th year or more. So this is at least 15 years.
Yeah, this has been out for a while.
It used to be called Wild Turkey's Russell
They
Reserve.
changed the label. It used to have like a tree on it.
I've got that label.
Yeah. They just came out with that really super limited Russells.
2002.
It comes in the wood box, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have a Goodfellas and Wise Guys Lounge in Lexington, and I was there Friday, and they had just got their bottle, and I asked them how much they were going to sell. It was like $200 for the whole bottle, or $300, something like that. And I asked her how much she was going to sell a shot for, or pour for. She said they would sell it for $100 a pour because they only have one bottle. And they said as the bottle goes down, the price goes up because they have supply and demand.
Well, you better get that first shot,
right?
If you want it. So there's 2 songs about I'm Coming Up. So there's the I'm Coming Up because you bet.
That's
and then there's
Pink.
the I'm Coming Up. I want the world to know.
I like that one better.
Who does that one? I don't know who does that one.
They'll answer.
I want to say Puff Daddy maybe remixed it or something. Maybe not. What song hasn't he? He tried to do the Bourbonite song, and I was like, no, Puff Daddy. No, Sean.
You're
P. Diddy.
ridiculous.
Combs.
Anyways.
So this isn't the single barrel. This is just the regular old Russell's Reserve. 10-year, 90 proof. So we've gone down a little bit in proof here.
But the nose on this one.
But the nose on this one. Did you
Different.
do the Jimmy?
I didn't.
What is that? It's woody.
It's almost like a cedar instead of an oak or something like that.
Yeah, in bread. It's like a not like banana bread or anything.
It kind of smells like toast.
Toast.
You know, like when your toast is burning a little bit in the toaster and you can smell it?
Yeah. Or the residual crumbs that are in
Of
there.
toast.
Of
Yeah.
toast. Yeah, totally. All right, now, mouth open.
Toast. Diana Ross, Pam says.
Thank you, Pam.
She got your back.
But I do think, did Puff Daddy sample it? Because
She's not going to know that one.
I'm asking.
What if she's like, yes, actually, in 2001, Puff Daddy sampled the song by Diana Ross. I'm going to be like, dang, she's either really fast at Wikipedia or she's got her music knowledge down.
I'm asking everyone but Pam. But Pam can answer. If Pam knows. Why did Pam get a message? Oh, did she take it away? Message retracted.
Oh, maybe she...
Quit using profanity, Pam. It's not letting you do it.
Maybe she was
I'm
wrong.
kidding.
Maybe that's not the right.
I'm kidding.
Oh, no, it was Diana Ross. That's what someone else said. I'm not sure why they took Pam away, but Should be okay.
No one puts Pam in a corner.
Nobody puts Pam in a corner. That's my mom.
And you're our dads. You're my dad. Joseph's my dad. Jason's my dad.
People who have joined right now are going to be like, what the hell is he talking about?
It's like, they must be on bourbon 4 or 5. No, number 2.
Ooh, Jason C. That I want that Russell's pick. Guess I gotta drive to Ohio for that.
Oh, this is actually better than I remember.
It is. It definitely has a lot more of like harsher char notes than I think. Where the Kentucky Spirit doesn't.
Which is weird because this is 11 points lower.
It's got some some more char
and 1 to 2 years higher.
I wouldn't call it bitterness. I don't know what that flavor is. I gotta find out other flavors that are similar to bitter. Sort of like a little bit drying on your tongue, and they kind of make your tongue go your tongue doesn't curl in. I don't know.
I can't do the
retract
tongue
almost.
thing.
I'm not really sure how to describe what's
tongue.
happening in my mouth.
I can't. Can you? Cup your tongue? I can't. Yeah, you can. I can't.
I can also make the clover thing.
Nope. Nothing.
I don't want to do that.
Nothing. Actually, with the mouth open, I kind of do get a faint banana bread.
Banana bread.
Banana nut bread.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. I like it. It's kind of hefty. It's got its...
It's not without its charm.
It's not without its charm. But it is tough that it followed. I think I just really like that today.
Second sip, not as good as the first.
Really? Because I found out I liked it a little bit better.
And normally it is the opposite.
Yeah.
It tastes a little thinner to me.
Wood tannin. Okay, yeah.
Wood tannin, yeah.
No, like tannins, like in wine.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, I guess. I think that's how you would describe it. I need to really buff up on my condescending whiskey terminology.
No,
not saying that you are.
We're
I'm just
better
saying
than
like
you
it's just
terminology.
There's a lot of words.
Mouthfeel
There's a lot of words that people use to describe it that I just don't know. It's just not in my normal vocabulary. Maybe it should be, but I feel like I'm being talked down to sometimes when people talk about that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I don't know. They're also just trying to be accurate, and I just want to be accurate for you guys. So,
I like it, but I'm with you. I think the Kentucky Spirit is more my jam today.
It's just got something. There's just something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It's lovely.
Yeah. So, we're not gonna spend too much time because we want to get through.
Yeah, sure.
We want to get to the beams. So we're gonna go ahead and switch.
Table that one.
Table this one, and bring out something that is Eddie Russell. We decided to go with decades. Because Jimmy would say, why are you putting 20 year in there? Why do you need to do 20 year? That's a little too old.
Yeah, he doesn't like that so much.
Eddie has more of the older taste. Jimmy has more of the younger.
But I wouldn't call it young, just that middle.
Younger.
Yeah, younger.
Yeah. But this is, a combination of 10 and 20 year. With some other years in there. I want to say when we heard him talk, he said it's mostly 13 years.
I thought it was 13 and some 16 and some 20 and some
10. To get decades, it's a 10 because that's a decade. 20 is 2 decades.
And then there's some
so it's a 10
middle.
and 20, but really it's a lot of 13.
Yeah.
And some 16 and some 20, some 10. But it's 104 proof. It's non-chill filtered. Comes in this beautiful bottle.
Which comes inside of a beautiful box, which we did not bring upstairs.
Box. Nope.
A beautiful box. And
beautiful... Not so beautiful price tag. But just feel this.
I really like this copper top. That's pretty cool.
It's not a battery, though.
Probably one of the reasons why it's expensive. Also, the 20-year-old in there.
Yeah.
Not the decades, but the Master's Keep collection.
Well, they're all Master's Keep. But the first one, the 17-year?
No, they just came out with the new one, the sherry.
Oh, yeah, the sherry.
Which we would like to get our hands on. But we don't normally like sherry finished.
But I hear good things.
But, yeah, and sometimes it's hit or miss. Like, I've had other sherry ones before that I thought, oh, that's not so bad. I thought I just didn't like sherry. I know I don't like port.
Right.
So, if it was port finished, I'd be like, I'm probably going to skip that one.
But apparently it's something that they did back in the day, and this is bringing it back. I think that's why it's called. Is it the one that's called Revival?
Is it?
I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because he did. You're right. He did do
Revived
that.
it.
They used to do that.
Yeah. They're actually probably one of the first to do some finished bourbon.
I think you would say this smells musty.
Hints of must.
It doesn't
As
smell.
in, I must drink this. Dad joke. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I feel like someone ought to take one of those long hook things and just pull you off
Trying
stage.
to leave frame,
You
but
can't.
it's not working. And we're back. Yeah, a little bit of antique-y.
Antique-y, yeah. But it's like a really sweet caramel-y syrup kind of, and
Yeah.
maybe some almonds. I don't know.
Yeah, it's perplexing. I forgot to do the Jimmy smell.
It is so much more powerful when you do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't handle it.
Yeah. And he's, we've seen him do that to a group of mixed level bourbon drinkers. And he's like, so smell it with your mouth closed first. And he puts his nose in there and takes a big whiff. And I think some people on the audience are going,
Yeah, because if you're not used to it, that's like, I mean, you just get, it's like slapped in the face almost.
Yeah, especially if it's a really high proof.
Yeah.
Or if it's in a Glencairn that more like,
Funnels that.
puts it right up in
Whew.
your olfactories. These are a little bit more forgiving. What is that?
I already told you.
I already told you. Yeah, it's just like a...
Like old library. Yeah, I think that's kind of, one of those just like room smells it's kind of like that.
rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your typical caramel vanilla combo that accompanies a lot of Wild Turkey stuff, but then it has more of an age on it, more barrel, and this one I think would border on kind of like that leather, aged smell. But let's taste it.
I almost get like a little bit of coffee too. Just the faintest bit. Just the faintest bit.
See, this is what I love about non-chill filtered bourbons. It has more of that creamy mouthfeel.
It is creamy, yeah.
Really coats the tongue, and wow, the finish is where this is at. It goes into like this deeper wood taste, bordering on like a dark chocolate type of.
It's not so hot on your tongue and like aggressive. It just nicely coats it with like a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
And that texture. I mean, you wouldn't think that liquids would have different textures, but it does. It's sort of, like you said, just coats your mouth.
Viscous.
And viscous.
Yeah.
Viscosity.
Viscosity. That's viscosity.
That's about the biggest word I know. It's good.
It's enjoyable. It's a treat. It's a rare treat.
Yeah.
We have...
I can see, though, the Jimmy influence on this, even though this was an Eddie bottle. Like, it's like you feel like...
Well, obviously Jimmy has passed down his knowledge to Eddie, and Eddie continues that, but he puts his own Eddie spin on it.
But I don't feel so much of the Jimmy influence in the Russell's Reserve. It mostly feels like Eddie's project for Jimmy, or to commemorate that. But they were both involved in it. But this, I really feel that, I don't know, heritage or whatever. It comes through.
Yeah.
And even though this was an Eddie project, I feel like it was truly based around what he thought his dad might enjoy, while also keeping, going outside the box a little bit with the 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Pressman asked if we've tried the Wild Turkey Diamond. It's been a minute. I had it at a bar, actually at OBC.
I don't think I've had that.
Years ago. And at the time...
years and years.
Years ago. At the time, I remember not being so wild about it. I thought it was just a little bit too forward and kind of attacked. I would probably like it more now. But, yeah, I never bought a bottle because of that. But it was also like $140. And it was... Everywhere had it sitting in their... glass case, and I was like, well, if I ever want to get this, now of course
it's gone.
They're not there, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I like this a lot.
I think I'm going to save the rest of this for a minute and come back to it. Because I feel like if I keep drinking too much more of this, my palate's going to be a little shot for the next.
Oh, we just spotted 2 bottles.
Ooh.
Where you at? Buy one and send it to us.
Where you at?
So that's good. So, father and son. That wraps up our turkey journey. We're going to go to Beam. Now, Beam's a little harder. So, turkey was obviously a lot easier, a lot more ideal for this episode. Beam, so Jimmy is to Fred as Booker... Eddie is to Fred as Booker is to Jimmy. So, in the Jim Beam case, the Jimmy of the situation, Booker is no longer alive.
Yeah.
So, we don't have any juice that was picked by Booker. We do have Bookers that Fred continues on in the same...
And Booker set the rule for Bookers.
Yeah, he set the bar, and Fred goes in there with that in mind and always picks with his dad in mind.
Yeah.
And that's as close as we're going to be able to get. Now, we were going to go Freddy, and we thought we had a sample of Little Book. Turns out we don't, or we already drank it.
Yeah.
So we can't do Little Book. It's
gone missing. Yeah.
Can't do Little Book. But that's not even a bourbon, it's a whiskey. So, not that that's a big deal.
But wasn't it someone that said that when, like, Booker's, towards the end, he said, don't let them touch my Bookers. Like, when he knew he was going to go.
Bookers and I think also Knob Creek.
Knob
Creek was also his...
Don't let them.
His thing.
Touch it.
So, we decided to do the latest. I think I've seen...
The 02's out
now. The 02 out,
yeah.
But I haven't seen it for sale anywhere. I haven't been able to pick up one. So, we're going with the 2018 01, which is Kathleen's batch, which you're a big fan of. And I'm a big fan of just because it's Booker's. I haven't met a Booker's I haven't liked.
Perry says, Chad, you have a bottle of Little Book. Well, yes, we do, Perry. But we're not going to open it right now. You shush. Because it's the first one of the first series, or the first bottling, that Freddie has done ever. So how often do you get a chance to get the first one? Like...
Yeah, if you could have the first bottle that had Fredno's name attached to it today, you'd be like, ah. So we think in 20 years that might be the same thing with Freddie. So we're holding on to that one.
Wait, and we can get another bottle. We just don't have one right now.
And we might open it 20 years from now. But we're not opening it right now.
Yeah, or 10 years from now, or something like that.
Okay.
Or 5 years from now. We might open it soon. I'm just kidding. It's Chad's bottle to do with what he pleases.
It won't be soon.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Catherine's
he said, well, you should have told me, and he would have brought us a sample. Well, thanks, Perry.
We got, 45 minutes left. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's kidding.
I'm kidding. And we don't have 45 minutes either. We have 30.
But, yeah. And like you said, it's not a bourbon. It would be unfair to compare them. But we have had it before, and it is unique, and it's actually really good.
It is.
So we would recommend if you can get one, go ahead and do that for the reasons that we just stated.
Yes. So, we'll just go ahead and say that what we've got for Fred is not going to stand up to the Spookers. It's just not. Because, well, you'll see. But this is definitely going to be the bar. Proof on this guy is 127.4. It's 6 years, 3 months, and 14 days.
Now, how is Kathleen's batch compared to the Front Porch batch? These are things I cannot recall from memory. But we are about to do a Booker's Flight Fight soon. And I keep saying that, but we really are going to do it.
No, like today.
Like tonight.
Yeah.
Like we're going to come down off this episode, eat some dinner, do a few chores, and then film it tonight. So, yeah. So I could tell you later.
Yeah. Front Porch batch.
Is that the one with the rocking chair?
No, that's Off Your Rocker.
Off Your Rocker.
2017. Is that the 03? Is that the one that we love? Is that Front Porch?
Ooh. I feel like I need to make flashcards for these Booker's badges because I can't remember their names. I'm like, is that the one with the cup on it? Or what one is that? The fish? I'm not sure. Is the fish Tommy's batch? I'm not sure.
I know it's not the fish. Fish was the last one of last year?
I don't know.
Or
See?
16, I mean. I
this
forget
is why we need flashcards.
Anyway, this smells delicious. Signature Jim Beam nuttiness.
Have had the
Smells
barbecue
nutty.
patch. I'm seeing it out now. The barbecue batch. What's that?
That must be the
Is that
02?
02?
Must be.
I want that.
I want to
I think
go to there.
Booker's is so good. I just feel like people were like, "Oh, I don't want to collect all of them. They're expensive." And I'm like, "But they just have these little nuances and difference about them, and they're such a solid bottle."
What?
And people who say, like, I saw someone that said they haven't spent over $100 on a bottle so far. And why do you need to when things like this are out there? You don't need to. I mean, you can if you want to get
so
some.
good.
I know. I've had it. When I had this in a bar for the first time, it was without him.
Tommy's batch is the ear of corn.
Ear of corn.
Ear of corn.
Sometimes in the summer, we have a thing in Lexington called Thursday Night Live, and me and my girlfriends will go, and I call it It's Bourbon Girls Night. Because we always go to the same bourbon bar, and I always ask for something that I think is reasonable priced. So I'm like, can I have Wild Turkey 101? And the bartender knows me, and he just goes, no. And he just comes back with whatever new thing that they have and pours it for me. And that's always nice.
If you're out of town and you say, can I have Wild Turkey 101? You're like, how would you want it on ice? No, neat. They're like, are you sure? Because they don't know you. They don't know who you are.
Here, they know me. No.
Yeah.
But it's... Side note, if you're ever in Lexington, go to Bluegrass Tavern. They have, your jaw will hit the floor about their collection. It's great. But I had this there for the first time, and I was like, I think this is my favorite Booker's batch ever. But I'll probably have the O2 and think, I think this is my favorite ever.
So speaking of that, I guess we should put this in our flight of 4.
Duh.
So here's what we've got. We've got...
Maybe we need to do a flight of 6, 3, and 3.
Ooh, man.
They're so high-proofed.
I know.
I don't know. Chad, tell me.
So we have... Center Cut, which was a round table one. A lot of praise for that. So we have a sample of Center Cut sent to us from Monty in Texas. Thank you, Monty, if you're out there. We're going to do that. We're going to do our 2017-03, the one that we picked from last year. I guess maybe this one.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because I really like it, too. And then I was asking Perry, who's in the chat, say hi to Perry.
Hi, Perry.
And Swan, the Bourbon Finder, like, what other ones have you heard a lot of buzz about? And he said... He said, off your rocker.
You had like a Sling Blade voice going there for a second.
He said, French fried potatoes. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to kill you now. He said, front porch batch and off your rocker, which I have both of those.
Yeah.
So.
Pressman found a 2014-07 recently on a shelf for $58. I seriously hope you bought that.
All day.
Please tell me you bought that.
You buy this all day, son.
Yeah.
Because I'm your dad.
2017-03 was my favorite of 2017.
Marn
That's
Pro.
the front porch batch. But I think that I might like this one better.
Well, that's why we're going to do them blind.
We're going to find out tonight.
Everybody.
But anyways, so, Booker.
Yes, he did. Good job, son.
Good job.
Because I'm your dad. I'm everyone's dad, and they're my dad. You're my dad.
You got a weird thing going on. I'm just going to let you have it today.
It's Father's Day.
Yeah.
Father's Day.
You've got a dog. You're a dog dad.
I am a dog dad.
It's not the same as being a human's dad, but it's...
We were thinking about doing Elijah Craig for this one because he's the father of bourbon, supposedly.
But we've been doing a lot of Elijah
We've
Craig
been doing a lot of
lately.
Elijah Craig. Or Old Granddad.
But...
So we decided to go this way.
But I like this because it's more conversational. And also, we've seen...
So good.
Jimmy and Fred and Freddie and Eddie and...
Fred and Freddie and Eddie and Fred and Reddy and...
All of them. I've seen them all talk so much, and they're just great each time. They tell the same stories, but I'm equally enthralled each time. Like, they're just great storytellers. Hopefully they'll both be at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival again next year, and everyone can go see them. I would highly recommend it. Anytime you can go see them, they're great.
Well, Matt says, till you have the barbecue. His favorite ever.
As soon as we see a batch of that in our area, we will scoop it up. As we do. We have all the ones from last year, so We'll get it once we see it.
If I could go back and tell 2016 Chad to make sure you get everyone, even though there was like 6 or 7 releases before they went to just 4, I would tell him to do that. Because I got the one before Center Cut and the one after Center Cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, Booker's good. Recommend.
Yes, definitely.
Now we're going to move something completely unfair for poor Freddie.
We probably should have gone the opposite way in this one, but that's not how the timeline works, so...
Yeah.
Sorry, Fred.
So, we've got Devil's Cut, which he introduced, and then we also have the newer and a little higher proof Distiller's Cut.
Maybe we should do Distiller's Cut first since it's higher? No, wait. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But we're coming off this, so... we think.
It's the newest thing. that Fred has put his stamp on. See, it's confusing because Jimmy calls Fred Freddy, but there's a Freddy who is Fred's son.
Yes. It's very confusing.
It's confusing. It's like, if you ever heard Freddy talk, he's really mean Fred.
Yeah.
But,
Eh.
let's do Distiller's Cut.
Distiller's Cut is what they say.
Okay. We're going to do it. Just put this.
Yeah, they said in Northern Kentucky that it's there, the barbecue batch. So you should swing over to the big, Party
Source.
I like Party Source.
Yeah.
The guy who runs the tasting bar there is so nice. What?
Glass.
Oh. You have one right there, but okay.
For you. Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, I was really surprised by this when it came out. I had it last year, sometime before Christmas, and I was like, you know, I like this. Or was it? Yeah, it was that time of year.
That bottle of yours, I was not crazy about.
You were not. You didn't like that.
No.
Matt says Party Stores had plenty.
You know, that's
of it,
funny
so.
because when it might have been the 2017-01, it was in Party Source, and we went up there to get it, and then like a few weeks later, we saw it here in our area.
Yeah, so we've driven to Northern Kentucky to buy Booker's before.
Yeah. Completely different ballgame.
It's a little warm in here. Do you think that's the Booker's?
I think it's the bourbon coat talking.
Yeah, the bourbon. I always say that. He's like,
It's that Kentucky.
do we need to take our jacket with us tonight? It's kind of chilly. I'm like, no, I'll just put my bourbon coat on. I have one on right now. It's hot. It's like 90 degrees outside.
Take your coat off. Stay well.
I can't.
Can't. So, completely different ballgame.
So different.
100 proof versus 127 and change.
I feel like that's not fair to my palate, so I'm going to have a cracker.
You can cracker it up.
Cracker time.
I'll join you.
Please do.
Whoop.
Ugh, how can you go from Booker's to Devil's Cut? I'm sorry, Carl.
Well, we're not. We're going to Distiller's Cut.
It is a drop, and it is unfair to these two. But how are we supposed to go father to son? I mean, we have to do it that way, right? It's Father's Day, after all, not Son's Day.
That's right.
Sorry. This day has nothing to do with me, so... I'm not personally...
You're their dad.
I'm not personally invested. That's
You're
weird.
their dad.
That's so weird. I don't like
They're
that.
your dad.
I don't like it.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. No?
No, I don't like it.
Nom, 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 nom. Yeah. Charlie. Almost anything you do after Booker's is going to taste like Bud Light.
That's why I always have a higher proof, like when I'm starting, like at a party or something. I'll have a higher proof one first, maybe second also, and then switch to something like this because everything tastes like Bud Light after that.
True.
I mean, it's like, this is good, but this is nothing compared to what I just had.
But we're going to attempt to be subjective here. So, Distiller's Cut.
I've had some crackers. I've had some water.
Which is also a non-chill filtered. Aged 5 to 6 years, 100 proof. The baby of Fred.
You know, I did recently, totally unrelated, while you knows that, a barrel pick at 1792, actually for Hops to Go. Again, not intentional.
You're wearing the Hops to Go shirt.
It's so comfy and soft. It says Bourbon Me. Who doesn't want to wear this?
True.
You can't see it in front of that, but there you go. Hops to Go.
Yeah, put that elsewhere.
It should be out in like 3 or 4 weeks, but if you're in Lexington, you can pick it up locally. They deliver to surrounding counties, but other than that, we'll talk on the side. But they were talking about how they don't chill filter full proof, and I think that's their only one that they don't chill filter. And it's because he described it like eating, if you're from the South, you'll understand this, but like green beans with like butter and bacon in them. Like, think about when someone makes you green beans that have like bacon and butter, and they're just so like delicious.
I can almost eat green beans when they're prepared that way.
Oily and stuff. Now think about how you take those green beans and you have leftovers and you put them in the fridge and you get them back out to reheat them, and all the fats come to the top. If you were to scrape all that off and microwave your green beans, they're not going to taste as good as they did the day before. And that's kind of how it works with chill filtering. Like, they would chill it, and all those fatty acids get scraped off, and all that good, oily like deliciousness that was in the bourbon that came from the wood and stuff is like it's gone. And so it's sort of just like cheating yourself out of that deliciousness. And so that's why I'm fine when people don't chill filter. I'm like, I like it better that way. Thank you for keeping those oils in there for me.
Yes.
So that just
Well,
made me
just
hungry,
like-
and now I want green beans, but it's fine.
I just want fatty acids. I want to go somewhere. Can I have a bowl of fatty acids? It's like how we like foolproof. We like to decide what we can cut it down to, if any. Same thing with chill filtering. Leave all that stuff in there. If we want to get it out, we'll chill filter it ourselves, which would never happen.
Well,
but-
the reason, I guess, is because sometimes, I guess, during distribution, it gets cold and hot or whatever, and people see, like, cloudy stuff floating in their bourbon, and they're like, your bourbon product was inferior because it had blah, blah, blah floating in it. It's fine.
I think...
All you have to do is get it back to room temperature, and it'll dissipate. If you shake it up, it'll dissipate. Like
I knew this at one point. It's bourbons under a certain proof will do that. If you're over a certain proof, it won't get cloudy. I want to say it was around the 100 mark, but I can't remember.
Well...
So if it's over that, why wouldn't you keep it non-chill filtered?
Just
I don't
keep
know.
it how it is. Don't mess with it.
All right, let's drink this.
All right. Well, I was giving myself time to reset, too.
Yeah, like, when I first smelled it coming off the Booker's, it didn't smell nutty at all. Then after, like, 5 or 6 sniffs, finally I'm now starting to get that nut. But it's almost more kind of like a banana nut bread. It's like...
It is very light. It's a light nutty, like a walnut. Like if you put walnuts in a banana nut bread, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
So. You know, I could still be unbiased after that Booker's though, since I had those crackers. For a lower proof.
Lower proof, 100 proof.
Well, 100 proof, but lower than that. I think it still carries the desirable qualities that Jim Beam has.
Yeah.
And it's solid. It's right there in the middle. Because it's proofed down some, it doesn't get lost. Like, those flavors don't get lost. They're still prominent. It's nice. I like it. But since the first bottle I had of this, I have always liked this. Chad was iffy on the first bottle, and now
I like it a lot
he's come
more.
around to the second bottle that we have of it.
Yeah.
I pretty much killed the first bottle by myself, so.
So Massey's asking, can we have It's Bourbon Night get-together?
Well, where would you like to do
Where
this?
would you like to... Yes.
Where are you located, and where can we do this? Because
we'll
would definitely
be
do
in
that.
Austin. There's obviously more people in Austin than there are in Lexington.
But we're in Kentucky. Like, we could... Either people could come in here if they knew it was a certain night, or we could go somewhere in the middle, like if Bardstown somehow in the middle, or Frankfurt, or whatever.
Yeah.
But our email is itsbourbonnight@gmail.com. If you don't want to fill in your ideas in the comments, please send us an email. Because we've been talking about that, too. Like, we really wish that we had the entertaining space to host a lot of people, to enjoy our collection, but we don't really have that. In Georgia... How are we supposed to do it?
He said Kentucky is fine.
Oh.
So maybe around Bardstown Bourbon Festival, maybe we do like some type of meetup in
that
Bardstown
would be
or
fun.
something.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's talk more about that. I'm intrigued.
But we really like that idea.
Yeah.
Get we don't really call our people anything like the Bourbon Nights or this the round table of Bourbon Nights or anything, but
IBN, friends and family.
our drinking buddies.
Drinking buddies, yeah.
We would love to get our drinking buddies together. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to call you guys our taste buds, but there's already something else out there called that.
If you watch Monty Python, our bourbon kniggets.
Weird.
Because it's night, because it's with a K.
Yeah, for $22-23, this is a solid choice, I think.
Yeah.
Now, would I recommend it over 17 or the Evan Williams?
Or Wild Turkey 101?
That's tough. That sounds like a flight fight.
I do like the nuttiness of it, but
it is nice.
101-ness of 101. It's so 101-y.
Good. It's
so
so
101-y.
Yeah.
So Devil's Cut, supposedly they made this method of getting out the last little bit. I'm giving you the smaller pour every time.
That's okay.
Because you're a lady.
I am smaller, so it makes sense.
Getting the Devil's Cut, which is the bourbon that gets trapped in the wood when it seeps in and out of the barrel, wringing it out somehow. You know, I think it's a spinning process, a heating and spinning or something, centrifuging it. I don't know. I'm speculating, but they get that last little bit out. I'm watching the replay and just watching my hands go crazy. It's funny.
Don't look at yourself.
I just can't help it. So they get that last little devil's cut out of there, and it's a thing, which is what this is. It's 90 proof, Jim Beam.
So, when we did our 50 under 25, this actually really surprised me. I don't know if it's because I think the label's ugly or what, but I think I had some sort of preconceived notion that I wasn't going to like this. I have no idea why, but when we did the 50 under 25, this actually went pretty far for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. So
smells about the same
again,
as Distiller's Cut.
And for $22, I mean, if you got to pick something up, like my thing is when I'm going out somewhere, going to a dinner or whatever, and I got to pick something up to take with me to a Halloween party or a 4th of July party or whatever thing you're going to. This is the kind of thing that you pick up, you enjoy a bunch out of it, everyone can have a sip, and whatever's left, you're fine to leave there. And it does no harm, no foul. I mean, it's $22, so
True.
I like it. Or for beginners.
Yeah, I think I would
this
definitely recommend this over the white label. I just wouldn't recommend the white label to any beginners because I don't feel like it has the legs underneath it. It doesn't. Just 4 years old. You need to give someone a little bit better base if they're just starting out on bourbon, and the white label, I just don't think has it.
Side note, cheers to all you 100 viewers out there. Thanks for joining us on Father's Day. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Good. It is good. I think it's like a little flatter than and as I said that, we lost 2.
Oh, come
It's
back.
fine. It's fine.
We can change.
Shut up.
Just tell me what to say. Just tell me what to say.
I think this is a little flatter than the Distiller's Cut.
It is.
It has a little less body to it or something.
A little less cojones.
But it's got something.
It's really easy.
It is very easy, but anything's easy after Booker's.
Well, yeah. But, like, so much more enjoyable than the 80 proof 4-year white label. And this might also be 4 years. I recognize that because it doesn't have an age statement. It's just 90 proof. But what a difference 10 points can make when you're going from 80 to 90. What?
Yeah, no, nothing. Someone said no one can hear you scream on YouTube, Chad. And then someone else said about the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, the white label. I think that label. Or the green label are literally some of the best value buys are out there.
6 years, 90 and 100 proof.
The green label is like $11. I think if you're looking for something cheap to pick up on the fly, like that is my go-to.
Especially if you want something that's only available in Kentucky.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of fancy restaurants around here that people will want to stop in at just to get some like appetizers and stuff. And I'm like, every bourbon on this list is $15. Not that I'm not fine to spend that, but I generally don't want to spend that on like Eagle Rare. So I'm like, ooh, $6 for Heaven Hill Green Label. I'll take one of those, please. Because why waste the money, you know? And that's even crazy. $6 for that is even crazy because that's half the bottle cost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was Pear Bear?
Yo.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, I know it was you. Yes, all bourbons fall hard after Booker's, it seems. I can still appreciate this, though.
Mm-hmm.
It does deserve its own time when it's not following Booker's or Devil's Cut. Maybe we should have gone the other way. I don't know. We were trying to follow a theme. And clearly it's not working as well. But it's fine. We're still drinking bourbon and talking to you, so great.
You know, it's perfectly fine. That's not a ringing endorsement, I realize. But it's perfectly fine.
It is exactly what I would expect for about $20.
If you're in that price range, yeah, there might be some others that might tickle your fancy a little bit more. But
I never liked that saying.
Really?
Tickle your fancy? I mean, nothing. Never mind. Let's just move on. Things I don't want to say on the internet. Let's move on.
And moving on. But I think it's perfectly fine. I really wish.
That's what I said about you when I met you.
Ew.
He's perfectly fine.
That's a nice Father's Day for you.
You're not a dad.
I'm a dog dad.
Okay.
I really wish bars that just had the basics would put like a Devil's Cut or a Jim Beam Bottled in Bond or a Jim Beam Black instead of the white label, because I think, it's just that little bit really helps.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has, like, these bottles have so much more going on than the white label does. And it's just a little bump up there, but it's worth it, I think.
Little bump, yep.
Someone says break out the old granddad. Totally would, Matt. Except for I'm gotta cook after this, and I don't know if I can handle like hot surfaces after that many bourbons. So
True.
It's probably not for the benefit of me or this house that could burn down. So
don't want to burn down the house.
I think. Well, I would love to break out the 114, which I know is in that cabinet over there. I think I should refrain.
Yes. We're gonna...
Oh, they want us to do it though. Are we married? This comes up every time. No, we're not married. Do you see a ring on this finger? No. Maybe I should have that 114.
Wow. Maybe I should.
I'm pulled my decades back out that I was saving just for this ending part. Let's do some questions. We got a few minutes left.
Don't be sorry, KJ.
Oh, don't be sorry. He's fine. He gets this every week. Look at his face. He would be so lucky.
That's true. I mean, we'll do it. If someone... to make it worth our while. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you literally about to say for super chats
I'm like...
you would do... Chad, that's offensive.
I know, it is. Totally offensive. I was just kidding. I was a little kidding.
You a little kidding?
I was a little kidding. I'm gonna go grab it.
You better make it up to me.
I will.
Okay. He will. He would be. That's romantic. Oh, jeez. Now y'all are gonna make me blush. Stop it. Took a long time for that question to pop up. See, Perry knows that this comes up pretty much every live episode. Chad just literally signs himself up to an ass-kicking machine every Sunday to be badgered about this.
Yeah. Someone on the...
Oh, Joseph.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. That really made my day.
For that, I will do the Beyonce dance.
Oh wow, our watch rate is really dropping off. I'm kidding.
And then she runs up a wall or something. I don't know.
That's a good video.
It is a good video. She
So
had the
simple.
best video of all time. Of all time.
And it literally involved like no props.
Yeah.
Or set design.
It's like a white studio.
And black unitards.
A white
or
psych.
leotards or whatever you call them. Make him drunk. Maybe if I make him drunk, then.
Alright, so I'm just going to wash out one of these.
Oh, because that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. We're going into extra innings here, folks. Because of our dad, Joseph.
I had to savor that decades. I couldn't just...
Well, I still got mine over there.
That was good.
Someone in our latest
it's kind of
uncorking...
smoky, too. There's a little smokiness.
Sure. Said, forget popping a cork when you gonna pop the question. I was like, oh, that's clever. I'll give you that. It's clever. And then I later trolled him. And was like, this guy sucked. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like these should become some sort of t-shirts or like cards I should leave around the house. Pop the like double-sided things.
Pop a
I don't
cork?
know.
Pop a question.
No, there's no pressure.
So,
Except from you guys, apparently.
Father's Day means the old granddad, Basil Hayden. Basil, if you want.
Basil.
Basil. Of the Jim Beam family. This is the old granddad himself, Basil Hayden, right here, if you didn't know.
Just look at him.
Look at that bust. Because it's a bust. It's a bust. It's a statue. 114, we've had a tumultuous time with it.
There you go.
It's been a roller coaster.
It is a beast cork, isn't it?
It is a beast.
That's a beast. It's big.
It's like
That's what she said.
the decades, but plastic instead of
plastic.
like
Nice fancy
cobalt
copper.
or
Yeah.
real marble.
It is a good bargain. I mean, 114 proof for Joseph.
26. Joseph.
You're gonna ruin it. I'm supposed to be surprised. No, you're not gonna ruin it.
No.
I'm literally oblivious to everything. Chad changed to, like, the pictures that were on the refrigerator for, like, 2 days, and I didn't notice every time I went to get water that there were now new pictures of me on the fridge, and he was like, do you notice anything after, like, 2 days?
I said, how observant would you say you are? She's like, I don't know, pretty observant.
And he was like, you dumb idiot, there's been new things all around you for several days, and you haven't noticed. So, I don't think I would notice no matter what, so.
I asked her to go get the ice cream out of the freezer, because there's more on the freezer. I'm like, here you go.
I just bring the ice cream back. I had no idea.
So then I held the ice cream up to the freezer, and I was like, good ice cream? And she was like, oh!
I'd like to say I'm observant, but it's not true.
Jeez.
So, bye, Pear Bear.
See you, Perry.
This is very renowned in the bartender community because...
Over 100 now.
Ooh. Old Grandad 114, when we first had it, we were like, eh. But it's grown on us a lot, and I do think that it really shines in a drink. Like, if you're mixing a drink, if you're mixing a cocktail, this seriously shines through. And for $28, over 100 proof, 114 proof? Like, think about it, like, Old Forester 1920 is 115. I mean, obviously the age is probably different, but that's $50, you know?
It's like the same proof as Noah's Mill.
That's crazy, which is also hovering around $50.
Yeah.
So, I think it's like $27, $28 in our area. Mm-hmm. When you can find it, it's not always on the shelf anymore.
Not always.
Because I think it's like a little cult favorite kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Was not our favorite in the beginning.
No.
But I think it has grown on us.
It has. It's not.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's in the middle there somewhere.
It's got that nuttiness being made by Jim Beam. It's definitely grown on me. It definitely has.
How did I not know that this was Jim Beam?
No.
I'm like upset right now. I looked on the back to check. It's Claremont. He's right.
Yes. Obviously.
But it.
No.
You learn something new every day, but sometimes you think you know a lot, and then you find out you really don't. Have we tried the 2017-04 Sip a While Bookers? Yes, we've had all of the 2017
All the
Bookers.
2017s. The 03 was our fave.
The mint on finish. It does have a little tingle on the end.
I could pull out some mint if I'm looking for
I
it.
don't think, if he hadn't said mint, I don't think I would have said mint. I see where it's coming from, though, but I'm not, like, when my mind says mint, I'm thinking, like, fresh mint in, like, a mule or a julep or something like that.
Sure.
Now I'm thinking more of, like, a peppermint that you get when you leave a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And that I can see, sort of like a cleansing.
On the back end, yeah.
Yeah, on the back end of the palate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. We put this in our tight spot. If you don't know what a tight spot cocktail is, there's an episode out there. Drink More Bourbon.
Cocktails.
Where you can see how we make that. Although, we made it before we realized the last ingredient, which is tiki bitters.
Tiki bitters is the key to a good cocktail.
About 10 drops of tiki bitters
it's
in
like
that tight spot.
A tropical, savory, herbal thing, and you put like 10 drops in there, and it really makes or breaks your summertime cocktail, I think. So they're like $20 a bottle for bitter mints, but it'll last you for forever. Look it up online if you don't have a bottle of tiki bitters. If you entertain a lot, it's definitely worth it. It's lasted us for over a year so far. For $20, it's a good deal.
No, it's good. It's good. Kind of hard to find though. You need to
recommend. You can order it online if you can't find it. We found ours at the Bullet Distillery, which was weird.
This just goes to show you how taste can change, even when you think you're an established bourbon drinker.
It evolves.
Like, when did Seton get married?
Seton is like Chad's best friend, so sorry.
4 years ago or so, I guess maybe. I took this because it was recommended by a waiter at OBC, bartender at OBC. I took it to all these people who were coming from South Dakota. When I was the Kentucky guy bringing bourbon, and I plopped down some OGD 114 and poured it for people, including myself, and I was like, oh, sorry. I mean, we still, don't get me wrong, we still finished the bottle. But it was like, I could have brought so much better. And then we were like, we're not really feeling this. But the more we've had it,
yeah.
Now, I
It's
enjoyed
grown.
that.
No, me too.
I enjoy it.
And again, I just think this is a very good, I would call it a utility bottle. I think you can enjoy a neat pour of it. It's 114. It's going to get you feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a little water or a little ice in it to bring it down to around 100 proof, it's still going to be good. Still drinkable. And then you can throw it in a drink and it's really going to shine. Yep. You know, it's going to cut through enough to let you know that there's alcohol in there, but not so much to where it's to turn off. Yep. And, I mean, just for the price, I think it's a staple in your bar.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Is what I would say.
I would not give this to a new bourbon drinker at all. I think you really need to be kind of long in the tooth in your bourbon journey. Maybe to
long in the tooth.
Long in the tooth.
I mean, I get it. It means older or farther along. But I just think, like, that makes me think of old men with really long teeth, and I don't like that image. So, anyways. Let's take the last couple. Look, does anyone have any questions? I really do think, I'm really intrigued by this idea of a meetup. But I don't know how we're going to do this and where we're going to do this. These are all things we can figure out.
We'll do some brainstorming.
Have thoughts or ideas or intrigued, let us know where you're from if you're interested, and we can maybe kind of try to find, like, we'll start triangulating some locations and figuring out. There's a lot of fall events that are coming up, like Bourbon and Beyond, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, just like so many things in the fall that are going to happen that we could easily say, we're going to do this while people are in town for this event and make it sort of so that you can kill two birds with one stone kind of a thing. So
I dig it.
Let us know, because we'd really like to do that.
We'll cross-reference and triangulate.
Yes, that's what I said. I realize that sounded dorky now that I think about it, but
computer enhance. If you have any last-minute questions about fathering advice,
Chad doesn't know the answers.
Let me
but
know.
We could speculate.
I'll give you some nuggets of wisdom. You want?
Cool. No.
No. Nothing.
No
okay.
one wants. No.
Gotcha. Loud and clear. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got some people from Ohio, from Georgia, since he's in Ohio. So we could do something. So I think it's time for us to wrap up.
I think so.
Because I'm almost out of bourbon.
Cheers, Joshua. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all of you, and we will see you next Sunday.
Yes. Switch back to my program here. There we are. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please leave us a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us online at It's Bourbon Night. Find things like our Tribeca tasting glasses on our Amazon page, amazon.com/shop/It's Bourbon Night. And lastly, you can become one of our drinking buddies at Patreon, patreon.com/It's Bourbon Night. And with that, guys, thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay. And until next time, drink more bourbon.